So I think everybody has to click continue. Zoom has changed their rules. So welcome everybody. I am so excited that you're here. And I wanna, before I even introduce myself, before I go into the big welcome, I want to explain to you what you're gonna gain by being here today. And that is, I'm gonna give you the inside secrets only shared with my clients in this masterclass. And you are gonna discover how I've helped countless women heal their hearts so that they can experience amazing true love. So in this masterclass, you're going to learn how to heal your heart from the past. So now you can step into your unwavering confidence and self-worth. You're going to empower the woman within to attract your soulmate, and the 3 keys to love again that will lift the old behaviors for higher standards for yourself and who you will attract. And it's really my 4-step process, but I say 3-step process to transformational relationship, to attract and keep your true love and finally experience a healthy, fun, loving relationship. And also you are going to get a free downloadable copy of my 12 traits to an empowered woman so that you can start showing up woman energy and attract a safe, secure, and loving man versus the child energy that you have been attracting in the past, right? All right. So if you don't know me, my name is Denise Kabaluskas, and I am a transformational love coach who specializes in helping women heal after toxic relationships where you felt like your needs were not met, where you were criticized, belittled by the person who loved you, in a relationship that felt lonely, sad, where you cried more than you laughed and felt joy, a relationship that held negative energy and unhealed past abuse on either side of yours or the other person. So you are in the right place if you are ready to have love and create your dream life. I know that's so, everybody says dream life, but truly, you can create your dream life. And I am so excited to show you how. You're in the right place if you are done, finished, completely over the cycles and patterns of the cycles and patterns in relationships that don't serve you. And you're in the right place if you're ready to break those patterns, to experience true love in your life. And you're in the right place if you are ready to figure this out, figure out why you keep attracting toxic relationships so you can now love again and experience what true love feels like. I've done this for myself. I was in a 22-year toxic relationship filled with traumas, dramas, and chaos. I was lied to, cheated on, abused emotionally, mentally, psychologically, financially, and sometimes physically. I tested positive for STDs in both of my pregnancies, and I survived years of his abuse. And now on the other side of that, I'm thriving. And that's what I want for you too. And that's why I say, what I'm going to show you, your dream life, is 100% possible for you, right? Because I know this because I did it, and all of my clients who come to me are doing it too. So last year I got to marry my best friend on our beautiful North Carolina beach. And now I only have healthy relationships, whereas before in the past, I was pretty much surrounded by only toxic relationships because I'm including my family. I've healed from the relationship between my son and me, which that's a whole nother topic. I've written an Amazon international bestseller and personally helped tons of women and counting, and men, take back their power and their life by learning to build their life back up while loving themselves again. So one thing that you'll always get from me is truth. So I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you because I believe in knowing the truth and ripping the Band-Aid off, so to speak, in some situations. This journey was not easy, but it was without a doubt worth it. And I want you to experience that feeling of healing too. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the intention for the next hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, however long this goes. I'm yours for however long. We're going to set the intention. So first I want to share with you what that means and how powerful this is for you. So we're going to set the intention of what you want to receive by being here in this masterclass. Okay? The power of intention is, it's a declaration. It's an intention of a certain outcome, right? It's an intention of both physical and with action, and also internally that you declare. So right now, let's set the intention for the next up to 2 hours that we're going to be together. So what you can do is you place your hands over your heart, okay? And state your desired outcome that you want from being in this masterclass. When this masterclass is complete, what is the desired outcome? So you can close your eyes, take a moment of silence, place your hands over your heart, and set the intention. So you can state it as, my intention is, you don't want to say I want, because the word want creates it, there's lack behind that. So you don't want to say I want, you want to say my intention is. And if you are willing, we would love to hear what your intention is. So you can put it in the chat. So my intention is for each and every one of you to learn some healing tools and to feel so amazing and powerful after this masterclass that it helps you in your healing journey. That the message that I give lands on your heart and you receive it. That's my intention. All right. So this masterclass was created to show you how you can reconnect with your woman energy, your adult energy, so you can remain beautiful, sexy, healthy, and happy for the rest of your life. So let me just explain real briefly what woman energy means. So when my clients come to me, they come to me in what I call mother energy. And mother energy is, she loves too much, she gives too much, she does too much. Okay. So when men come to me, it's the same thing, but a male, right? He's in parent energy. He's in, father energy, and he does the same thing. Loves too much, gives too much, does too much, right? That's parent energy. And so just for a moment, imagine a triangle, and mother energy or parent energy is down at one of the two bottom points of the triangle, right? It's down at the bottom. And then directly across, you have child energy. So when you're in parent energy, you attract child energy. Because scientifically, we know that like energy attracts like energy. Although on the outside, it may look like opposites attract. But in truth, it's one's a giver, one's a taker. And that goes together. Okay? Let me know if that resonates with you, if you understand that. Okay? Because the goal is to be at the top of the triangle, which is where woman energy is. So the energy meaning how you show up in relationships, how you show up, because we show up differently depending on who we're with, right? Or the environment that we're in. So sometimes I remember there was a time when I was around my dad, I would shrink back into a little girl, right? Or at work, you're in a different energy than you are when you're with friends and family, or with your, with a partner, right? So how to heal a broken heart and trust again masterclass. So like I said, you're going to heal your heart from the past and now step into your unwavering confidence and self-worth. All right, because your personal empowerment and love again awaits you. Empower the woman within to attract your soulmate, and the 3 keys to love again that will lift the old behaviors for higher standards for yourself and the man that you attract. And then the 4-step process to transformational relationship techniques to keep your true love, to attract your true love and keep your true love, and finally experience what a real true love relationship, healthy, fun love relationship feels like. So getting back to the woman energy, it's been called divine feminine energy. It's been called feminine energy. It's been called goddess energy. It's been called the queen within. The term that I use is woman energy. And if you follow me, or if you're a client, or you've been on a call with me, you've heard me term it as this woman energy. They all mean the same thing. It's really the power within you. Okay. And this is why I say you can have your dream life. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. You can have your dream life. It's a matter of you saying yes to it, right? And moving out all of the limiting beliefs, all of the naysay, the Debbie Downer, and the negative Nancy inside of you that's saying you can't have that. It's a matter of moving that out, pushing it aside and saying, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. So in order to heal your heart from the past and step into your unwavering confidence and self-worth, you start at this point. This is where I always start. Can you guess where I start? Can anybody guess where the starting point is? Let me know if anybody's had some personal growth here. If you know where a good starting point would be. Let me know. Just take a guess. Just throw a dart. Let me know in the chat. Okay. So I always start with self-love. Okay. Not self-care. There's a difference, right, between self-care and self-love. Self-love, loving yourself, right? And what you will gain by loving yourself 100%. Okay, this is the key here. Loving yourself 100%, meaning the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? The whole gamma of you. When you love yourself 100%, you gain boundaries. Boundaries are important. Truth, sharing your truth, knowing your truth, expressing your truth in a healthy way. Trusting yourself and being able to trust others, right? Forgive yourself and forgiving the past. Gratitude, a life healed, a life changed. Because you are the driver of your life. You run the show. So let's start from the beginning. Let's go back to you as a baby. Let's go back to when you were born, or think of a baby. If you're a parent, think of your child. What is a baby when a baby's born? What's the natural vibration that a baby is? Right? Love. A baby is love. The natural vibration of you is love. And it's the highest vibration. So being in that toxic relationship has lowered your vibration all the way down to guilt, shame, fear. I'm going to share my screen with you for a second. So I want to share a map with you. You don't know who Dr. David Hawkins is. Dr. David Hawkins, he is a, hold on. My screen's being weird. He's an author, and he created the map of consciousness. So I want to see if you guys can see this. This is the map of, this is one form of the map of consciousness. Okay. I'm sharing this with you to show you the levels of emotions that we have, right? And so he created this and he based it off of muscle testing. Okay. And so the 2 parts that I really want you to pay attention to is the level over here, third one in from the right, the level, this is the emotion, right? You see shame, guilt, apathy, grief. Okay, I want you to pay attention to that. I want you to pay attention to the emotion when we're in shame. The emotion, who says, is humiliation based on the muscle testing. Level, when we're in guilt, we are in blame. That's the emotion. Okay, and then these are the numbers that he logged it at. Okay, this is his map of consciousness. If you want to read, like study this, if you want to really like dive into this, if this is fascinating to you, it's in his book called Power versus Force. Power versus Force. Okay, so love, if you notice, love is all the way above this red line, and it logs at a 500. Okay, joy and peace. These are the three things every single time I get on the phone with a woman or a man and I ask them, what do you want? This is what they want. I want love, peace, and joy. I want love, peace, and joy. I want peace, love, and joy. They want to be all the way up here. When they come to me, they're down here, right? Guilt, shame, fear, anger for blaming themselves that they were stayed in that relationship too long, or anger, that they keep attracting this type of relationship over and over, right? In the lower levels of emotions, that's down here. Okay, so the key is to get up in this love, joy, and peace. Okay, let me stop sharing that. And it isn't about climbing the chart to get to love at a 500 or joy at a 540 or peace at a 600. This is about you letting go of the lower vibrations, which will naturally rise you up into the higher ones where you belong. Okay, so now go back to the triangle. You could look at the mother energy and the child energy as the lower level emotions, right? Because mother energy, she's a rescuer, she's trying to save, so she'll put up with a lot of crap in her relationships because of that reason, right? And when we look at narcissistic personality disorder, narcissistic behavior, that's the child energy. So when you let go of these lower emotions down here in the mother and the child, you naturally rise up into the woman energy, right? Naturally rise up on the chart, the map of consciousness, into the love, peace, and joy. Loving yourself 100% will get you there. Here's what you'll gain by loving yourself. Like I said, the good, the bad, and ugly, right? You get the love, you get the joy, you get the peace in all areas of your life. So let me ask you a question. Can you look into your eyes? Remember, your eyes are the windows to your soul, and feel love and compassion for yourself. Can you do that? Let me know in the chat if that is a yes or no. Let me know if you can or can't. Awesome. Beautiful. Got a yes. Awesome. Can you say, I love you, and your name at the end? Like for me, I'd say, I love you, Denise. Can you look into your eyes, right? Like looking at yourself in the mirror, and can you say, I love you? Okay. Somebody said not right now. Some person said yes. What about this next part? Sometimes. Okay. Beautiful. Can you say, I love you? Let me paste this in here. Can you say, I love you with your name on the end? Look in the mirror and say, I love you, and state your name. Okay. So why love? Why do we have to say, I love you, Denise? Why do I have to say, I love you? Why not, I like myself, right? Well, it's because the mind knows love on a fundamental, even from a level. So unlike most words, love has the ability to slip past the consciousness and into the subconscious, where the magic happens, right? So what if you don't believe that you love yourself right away? Like somebody said, sometimes. What if you don't believe it? It doesn't matter. Your role is to lay down the pathways brick by brick to reinforce the connections between the neurons. The mind already has a strong wiring for love. The body knows it as well. And remember, the mind is the body and the body is the mind. This is why they both know it. They know love. It knows that love nurtures, that love is gentle, that love is accepting. It knows that love heals. And if you can't say, I love you with your name on the end, you can edit the words and you can say, I am willing to love myself. I'm going to pop that in the chat for you. I am willing to love myself. Yes, I got that. I understood that, Darrell. You can say this instead. If it's tough for you sometimes, or you're getting there, you're on your way there, but you're not there yet, and you can't like fully just look in the mirror and say, I love you with your name, you can say, I am willing to love myself. I am willing to love, or I'm willing to love you, and then state your name. And that's true. That's 100% true because you are here. You are here. So that's true. Okay. The ego has a very, very manipulative way of making us do things that we really don't want to do. Okay. So before we go into our first meditation, does anybody have any questions that they want to get answered? You just put those in the chat and I will answer those for you. Anybody have any questions? You can raise your hand or you can type the question in the chat. Okay, if not, I'll continue, but I just want to give everybody a chance to ask any question about what I've just covered, or just any question in general that you want answered. If not, it's totally okay. All right, so now I'm going to move on to our next part. First, we're going to do a meditation. All right, so this is a self-love meditation. So get comfortable wherever you're at, sitting. If you're driving, don't do this. This is if you're in a place where you can close your eyes and go away for a minute. All right, get comfortable. Take a deep breath in and release it out. Relax your body as you exhale. Drop your shoulders, drop your jaw. And the next breath in, I want you to visualize the color pink, which is the international color of love. Take a deep breath in. Visualizing that pink, hold it and release it out. And you're releasing out anything that doesn't serve you. You're releasing out all the negativity. You're releasing out all the stress of the day. You're releasing out all the gunk. And on the next breath, we're going to hold it for 4, 4, 4. So you're going to breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep dropping all of, imagine your body melting into the surface beneath you. It's the best way I can describe it. Dropping your jaw, your shoulders, relaxing your neck, your torso. Sink your hips into the surface underneath you. One more breath in and hold it for 4. And exhale, releasing it for 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I want you to visualize a white, glittery, warm, beautiful light coming in through the top of your head and cleansing and clearing out any and all that doesn't serve you. And I want you to visualize this white, warm, glittery light gently pushing its way down your face, your neck, cleansing and clearing anything that doesn't serve you, spreading out through your shoulders, your arms, almost like a Velcro, picking up anything that doesn't serve you, right? You know, the Velcro picked up all the hairs and stuff. That's what this white, warm, glittery light is doing. It's cleansing and clearing out all that doesn't serve you. Down your torso, in your hip area, your thighs, down to your knees, your calves, cleansing and clearing, picking it up like Velcro, anything that doesn't serve you, all the toxicity left from the past, moving down to your ankles. It's just white, warm, glittery light. Your feet, all the way to your toes. And what I want you to do with all of what the Velcro picked up, with the white, warm, glittery light picked up, gently push it down out through your feet and back to earth. Give it to Mother Gaia. Give it back to earth. You don't want it, you don't need it, and she knows exactly what to do with it. And now you can place your hands over your heart and repeat these 3 words. I love myself. So with your eyes closed, your hands over your heart, now having cleansed and cleared anything out that doesn't serve you, all that's left is love. I love myself. Feel that heart beating. Feel your body. Feel the love that you truly are. You can say this out loud or to yourself. I love myself. I love myself. If it's difficult, push through it. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Whatever emotions come up, let them come out and out, releasing it. If no emotions come up, that's okay too. Whatever you feel is okay. No judgment. I love myself. Just repeat, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. You can play around with this statement. I do love myself. I love myself. Take a deep breath in and release it out. Take another deep cleansing breath in. All the way to the top, fill your belly up with that air, hold it and release. One more time, take a deep breath in And hold it and release it. Gently wiggle your toes, open your eyes when you're ready. And let me know in the chat how that felt for you, if any emotions came up. If no emotions came up, if a question came up, was it relaxing? Were you able to relax? Ooh, awesome. Big release of sad emotions. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. That was wonderful. Awesome. I'm glad it helped. You can use that anytime. Actually, every day. Every day would be great. Okay, and see how quick that was? That was what, not even, maybe 5 minutes? Okay, so the next part of this masterclass is empower the woman within to attract your soulmate, right? The 3 keys to love again that will lift the old behaviors of higher standards for yourself and the man that you'll attract. Because remember, everything begins and ends with you. So anything and everything in our outside world is a direct reflection of what's going on in our inside world. So when we look at our outside relationships, what do those relationships look like, right? Because then that tells you the relationship that you have with yourself. When you look at your health, right? Your body is outside of you. When you look at your health, what is your health saying? Are you healthy or do you have some health issues? Because that is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. The most common ones are depression and anxiety, autoimmune, and even cancer are the popular ones the common ones that I get, women that have been in abusive relationships and men. I've even had Lyme's disease, not me personally, I'm saying clients of mine. There's an array of things, but there's some that are more common than others. So when you look at your body, which is outside of you, this is also telling you what emotions that are unhealed inside of you, okay? When you look at your finances, that is also a reflection of what's going on inside of you, right? So these are everything outside of you is a reflection of inside of you. So in order for you to attract a man who loves you, who honors you, who respects you, who's committed to you and devoted to you, this has to start here. That begins here. And once you have that, think of your energy as like a boomerang, right? Like everything here goes out and what you put out comes back. Okay? So that's why it's getting this cleared out, getting all the toxins cleared out, right? Think of like a clogged, sink where the kids have put toys down there, there's hair. That's really all this is. We're just plunging out the crap that's blocking you from having this amazing, beautiful relationship with someone. Taking that out, i.e. the toxins, the past, so that you can have your true love. So the next part of this is, drum roll please, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Who struggles with forgiveness? Who struggles with forgiveness? Who has not been able to forgive, or there's one piece left, there's something there that you just can't forgive. It's just feels too heavy, it's too much. And you haven't been able to overcome that. Let me know in the chat. Hard to forgive myself. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful ladies. Thank you for that. And that's always the last one, right? So I get this so much. It's so easy, or it's easier to forgive others, but not myself. And yeah, I went through that too. I felt guilty and bad for putting my kids through horrible shit that they should not have gone through. Blamed myself. Couldn't forgive myself for staying in the relationship for too long, for as long as I did. And as a result, they witnessed their dad attempting suicide and, drug use and just like a slew of things. And I held on to that for the longest time. So when it came down to this piece of forgiveness, I was actually able to forgive my ex before I was able to forgive myself, right? Because I was thinking of my children. I was thinking of, Denise, it's your fault that he did X, Y, and Z because you stayed with him, right? Also, I enabled his behavior. So it always seems easier to forgive other people, and you are the last one left to forgive. So I want to help you with that today. So before I could share my story with no charge to it, meaning emotion, I first had to forgive. I had to forgive my ex and forgive myself, right? So like I said in the beginning, I tested positive for STDs in my pregnancies, right? Imagine being pregnant, so excited, right? I was married like a little over a year, and bam, we were pregnant. So imagine going to the doctor and you're so excited. I'm pregnant. This is what we wanted. I just got married last year. This is everything. I'm starting a family. I can't wait to have my baby. And the first part of your pregnancy, they go and they test you for everything to make sure that you're okay so that you have a healthy baby. Well, my test came back positive for chlamydia. Imagine that news. It's the last thing on earth that I thought would come back, because chlamydia goes like asymptomatic. You can have no symptoms, and I didn't have any symptoms. Anyway, long story short, like I said, I just got married the year before. I was having my first baby. I didn't want to face that truth. I didn't want to go down that path of, oh my God, he's cheating on me. So I ignored it. I took the antibiotics and wiped my hands clean of it and just went on with life. Well, I have Irish twins. So I have my son and my daughter a year and a day apart. So I have my daughter, she's healthy, everything goes great. 3 months, my daughter's 3 months old, I'm pregnant again, exactly 1 year later. So exactly 1 year later, I'm doing the same thing again. I'm going to the doctors and they test me for everything. And guess what? It comes back positive again. So now 2 pregnancies, 2 positive STD tests. What do? Again, I didn't want to dig deep. I kind of went on a little, this is Yellow Pages days, pre-Google, went on a little Yellow Page, calling all the gynecologists, finding out, where does chlamydia come from? Where does chlamydia come from? Comes from a third party, comes from a third. No. Where does it stem from? Where does it come from? This was my version of research in 1994. Or 93, excuse me. So long story short, it was my best friend and I, we came across one gynecologist office that said, it's like a bacteria or something, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's it. See, I knew it. He didn't cheat on me because I wasn't ready to face that truth, right? This was something that I had to forgive him for. This was something that I had to face. So, and then pile 22 years of all the crap that happened on that, right? It feels like it's a lot of forgiving. And then, family stuff. So my sister blasting me on Facebook, my sister hating me because I went to court with her ex on behalf of my nephew. Letting go of grudges and bitterness can make way for happiness, health, and peace. Healthier relationships, greater spiritual and psychological well-being, less anxiety, stress, and hostility. So I share those stories with you to let you know, we all have shit. We all have stories. We all have some form of a toxic past, whether it's family or relationships or something. And one of the keys to healing is forgiving the experience, forgiving yourself, forgiving the other person, forgiveness, right? And how do you forgive? You let go. You let go of the meaning that you attached to the story, to the person, right? Buddha once said, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned, right? Forgiveness has a slew of benefits to it. So as hard as forgiving yourself may seem, it's vital for your well-being. So in short, forgiveness lowers stress levels. Forgiveness keeps your heart healthy. Forgiveness lowers pain. Forgiveness lowers blood pressure. Forgiveness extends life. So let's just do this quick exercise. I want you to close your eyes for a second. I want you to think of something or yourself, like an experience or something that you can't let go of. Something that you haven't forgiven yet. So close your eyes and go to that incident, that experience, that person, the situation, whatever. Think of that experience. Now, this is a grudge, right? This is a grudge that you're holding and you can't let it go. So I want your body to respond to your thought right now, right? It tenses up. So now I want you to tighten up your whole body. So you could tighten your fists, right? Tighten your muscles, squeeze your butt cheeks, tighten your entire body. Just hold in all of that energy. Hold it in. Hold it as tight as you can. Hold it. Hold it. Ready? You're going to release it. Let it go. Release all of it. Let it go. That feels better, right? This is what you're doing to yourself on a daily basis. You're carrying around that tight, clenched energy, whether you know it or not, by not forgiving. When you forgive, you have that letting it go, feeling better. And I know that true forgiveness is easier said than done. I know it can be difficult, especially when someone truly upset you in a way that contradicts your values and morals. However, it's important to remember that holding that grudge is not going to fix anything. That hot coal you're holding on to is just burning you. Let go of the coal and you will feel the lift of mental burdens. You may also notice that your body thanking you through the health benefits of forgiveness, lower stress levels, healthier heart, higher pain tolerance, lower blood pressure, and even extended life. The next time someone upsets you, remember to forgive if you want to live happier as well as healthier. So what does it mean to forgive? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. This is the misconception that people have sometimes. Nor does it mean condoning or excusing the other person's behavior. Forgiveness can help repair a damaged relationship. It doesn't obligate you to reconcile with that person who harmed you or release them from legal accountability. What it means is, like, forgiveness has helped my damaged relationship with my ex. Now, we've been no contact for 10 years, right? So what I mean by that is not like, hey, I call him up, hey, happy Father's Day, Merry Christmas. That's not what I'm talking about. Repairing the damaged relationship is the thoughts that I have in my head, the way I think about him, right? The reoccurring thoughts that I used to hold on to, how he ruined our family by his behavior, his toxic way, his drug use, that doesn't enter my mind anymore. It's not in my world anymore. That's what I mean by repairing a damaged relationship. Because when you recognize that somebody's toxic and you can't let them back in your life, you forgive them, but it doesn't mean come back. It doesn't mean come back, right? It means that you've let them go in your mind. You've forgiven them in your mind. You forgive them for their behavior, for the incident that happened, and you're done, right? I actually had a client who did that. She forgave her cousin and she thought forgiveness was by letting that person back into her life. Well, what happened is she let that person back into her life, and that person, toxic people are toxic people. They're going to continue their toxic behavior, and it got worse. And, it never ends well. So this is where you forgive them by letting them go. By letting them go out of your energy, by letting them go out of your mind, by releasing that story out of your body. And then forgiving yourself. We are our worst critics. We are so judgmental and critical of ourselves. And that's the part of you that is holding on to the grudge and not forgiving you. That part. So you're so compassionate and you show empathy for everybody else. Can you do that for yourself? Can you be kind and patient with yourself? Can you have a conversation with yourself and, just like you would a child who blames themselves for something that they did, what would you say to that child? Why can't you do that for you? Why can't you have compassion and empathy for you? Be more kind and patient for yourself, with yourself. So a beautiful, amazing forgiveness tool that I highly recommend is the Ho'oponopono forgiveness meditation. Have any of you heard of the Ho'oponopono prayer? It's a prayer, it's a mantra. It's been called many things. Yes, it's awesome. I have it for you. I'm going to give it to you. Yes. Alexis says yes. Darrell says yes. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. It's a 4-phrase mantra prayer. It helps a lot. Let me grab it real quick and I'll give it to you. So in this 10-minute meditation, Ho'oponopono, I repeated it in 10 minutes. It's repeated like 108 times. Let me go to my studio. Hold on. And so here's the thing about thoughts. If you repeat a thought like at least 400 times a day, I know that feels like a lot, but you'd be surprised how many times we do think thoughts. Here it is. Let me grab the link for you. So if you break it up, here's what I'm trying to say. If you listen to this 10 minutes, 4 times a day, you will have had it in your thoughts at least 400 times. Okay, there it is. And if you do this, like challenge yourself to 3 days in a row. You're going to listen to this 3 days in a row. You're going to repeat the mantras, the 4 mantras, as you're listening to it. So you listen to it, say it, listen to it, say it, listen to it, say it. And if you do that, like when you wake up in the morning, lunchtime, mid-afternoon, before you go to bed, think of that's 400 times a day that you're thinking this thought. It's amazing and powerful for forgiveness. So that's a forgiveness tool that I want to give to you. It's incredible. And if you know the history of it, it's a powerful I'll give you the gist of it. It's a doctor who, he went into this, right? He went into the 4 mantras, and he was ultimately treating people at the psych ward, all of them. So it's a cool, I think I put it in the description in my YouTube. Click in the description, you'll see it. It's an amazing story. It's super powerful. Listen to it 4 times a day. Challenge yourself to do it 3 days in a row as a beginner, or one day, even just one day, and see what shows up. See how you feel, right? Because again, that clenched, constricting energy that you're unconsciously carrying around with you day in and day out is attracting, remember the boomerang, your energy is attracting what you put out. It's attracting these situations, right? Toxic people, toxic situations. So releasing by forgiving is going to create an amazing new life for yourself, your dream life. So that is a forgiveness. Does anybody have any questions about forgiveness or anything that I covered so far? I always like to give like a Q&A part. Let me know if you have any questions. All right. Well, then I will move on to number 3. We're talking about truth. Oh, thanks for reminding me of that. And link. Oh, you're welcome. All right, truth. Taking back your power by speaking your truth, owning your story so your story doesn't own you. I had to go through the process of telling my story and owning all of it. You know, the STD thing that I just shared with you at one time in my life was a letter folded up. Nobody saw it. I was so humiliated. I was so embarrassed that I tested positive for STDs in the first trimesters of my pregnancies. I hid the truth. I hid myself. There's so much energy in not being your authentic self and not expressing your truth that it's, you know, we do it little by little. So we don't realize like the buildup that it has to hiding all of ourselves, to hiding truths, you know. But when you can tell the truth, when you can tell the truth first to yourself, this is really important, to share the truth with yourself. Because a lot of the time we can't even utter the truth to ourselves. It's that bad. But the more bad we think it is, the worse it is to get over that, get through that. Owning your story so your story doesn't own you. So my mentor gave me this great advice that I want to share with you. And it's the beginning of my email to her. So I'm going back to 2014, right? This was before I even started my business. And this was about my story, right? Sharing my story. I was, like I said, humiliated. I was embarrassed, like, Denise, 22 years, really? You know, all the things that happened inside of that relationship, all the things that because of me, I felt like because of me, my kids went through. I just took on all the responsibility of all the shit. And so I didn't want to tell people that. I didn't want to say, oh yeah, by the way, you know, straight from the beginning in 1993, I tested positive for STDs. I could have ended the marriage there and saved me 22 years of heartache and toxic relationship, right? But I didn't. So there was that. So here's how the email went. I am a very private person. So out of the wise advice of a very smart woman, I am going to tell my story so that I can help other women that are going through or have gone through this. So with shaking hands, here I go. This is literally what I wrote in this email before I went to, oh, thank you. I'm gonna paste this in here for you. This is literally what I wrote to her. And my hands were literally shaking when I was typing it out. I wasn't even speaking it. I wasn't even having a conversation with somebody. I was typing it out in an email and my hands were shaking because my body was responding to the thoughts that I had in my head, right? This is why truth is so important, because your body is responding to your thoughts. So when you're ashamed of something, when you feel guilty of something, when you're blaming yourself for something, when you're hiding the truth, your body's responding to that, right? So I had to be in the emotions of the story in order for me to heal this. I had to, thank God that she was my mentor. Thank God that she said, Denise, you have to share this. How are you going to help other people? And, maybe it's not you. Maybe you're not, wanting to create a business out of your story. That's totally okay. This is about releasing it out of your body. This is about you sharing your truth and not being ashamed of who you are or what your past is. This is about you owning your story so your story doesn't own you. Because just like in blackmail, people hold it over your head. Oh, I know you did such and such. So if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna tell, I'm gonna share it with people. And so what happens? We shrink, we're obedient. But when you own your story, when somebody goes, I'm gonna tell on you, you're like, go ahead, I don't care. I'll say it first, right? You take your power back. You're not allowing somebody to control you. What happens within inside of us is we control ourselves. The ego, our mind, controls us because, oh, Denise, you're going to be so humiliated by telling that story. And Denise, people are going to judge you. They're going to criticize you. They're going to go, oh, how stupid are you? That's what the mind does. But you would be amazed and surprised at, by sharing your truth, how many people relate to it. Whether they say it to you or not, how many people go, oh shit, that was me, or that is me. I did that too. Ugh. Wow, she's so brave. You're so courageous to share that, right? That's what people say. And for the people who do, because you're always going to have people like that. For the people who do criticize and judge, here's what I want you to know about that. When people are critical of other people, when people judge other people, it means one thing and one thing only. They are critical and judgmental of themselves. That's all that means. So don't take it personal. Don't take it personal, because that's not a reflection of you. That is a projection of them onto you. And so that's when there's a decision that needs to be made. Am I going to let that energy in, or am I going to know that's your shit, not mine, and not let it in? That's all it means. Don't take things personal. It's not personal. So in order for me to tell my story, I had to be in it. I had to be in the emotions of my story, and you do too. And I promise you that this too shall pass, unless you decide to give all your power away. And then it will suck you down the drain. Or you decide that you are going to repress it, deny it, shame it. Oh, the power that we lose in that. You may not have had a situation like mine, but I am sure that you have found yourself in a place in your life where you knew you needed to get out, to make a change, to leave, or to let go of something or someone in order to honor yourself. Have you thought about what your story is? Have you ever considered sharing your story out loud? Whether it was for your own personal growth or to help someone because you are now at the stage of seeing the gifts in your story. You see, secrets make us sick. You can't heal it until you feel it. Trust that you've been given what you need to heal the situation. Not fight it, not conquer it, not expose it, not blow it up. Just shine light on it to heal it. You see, you don't know you're lost until you're no longer lost. So what's your story? Are you brave enough to share it in the chat? What did you learn from that story? See, when you own your story doesn't own you anymore. You can feel the feeling without becoming the feeling. And that is the freedom in speaking your truth. And that's why I share that with you. Because there was a time when I was so humiliated by the things that I allowed to happen in my life that I wrote it down, I folded it up, I hid it. And nobody could go near that drawer. If anybody even came near that drawer, I was flipping out. I was so embarrassed, so ashamed. This is your power. For you to tell the truth with yourself, with others, to own your story so your story doesn't own you, to not have that dangling prize over your head, right? Or the threat over your head that if somebody finds out that what your reaction will be, right? If somebody would have went to that drawer and found that letter, oh my gosh, the humiliation would have been 1,000 times worse at that time for me, right? So once you start to heal it and you got to feel those emotions, this is how you release, by feeling the emotions. Yes, it sucked. Yes, it was fucked up what happened. Yes, of course. Feel that emotion. If sadness comes up, let it come up. If anger comes up, let it come up. Don't judge your emotions. Don't criticize your emotions. Just let it come up and out and know that you're releasing it. Okay? It's so relieving to be able to talk about my truth. It's going to be so relieving for you to talk about your truth and to not feel ashamed of yourself. It just is. It is what it is. I had STDs in the first trimesters of my pregnancies. I was cheated on. He was doing drugs. I turned blind eye. I stayed in the relationship for 22 years. Even after that, even after attempted suicide, even after being in control, him controlling me, even after this, that. No charge. Because I went through the process of feeling it to heal it. I did the crying and the releasing and the letting go. But then once you do it, you're done. You're done. And you're on the other side of it. And then that's when creation comes in, right? Creating the relationship that you do want, the relationship where you feel loved and adored. So let me explain something about where you are right now and what's waiting for you. Okay, they call it parallel realities. It's basically, here's you now, here's what you quote unquote want, right? Here's the reality that you're living in right now. Here's the reality that you want, all right? And when you go in and heal all of the stuff, this is how you get closer to this reality. So in essence, when I was crying myself to sleep every night, when I was in my 22-year relationship, I desired to feel loved. I thought I wanted to feel loved by my then husband. I thought I wanted to have an amazing life with him. And that's why I kept trying. Little did I know, God had a whole nother path for me, a whole nother life for me. But the feelings that I was desiring at that time was happiness, right? Like we were saying, at the top of the map of consciousness was love, joy, and peace. Love, joy, and peace. I didn't know that the love, joy, and peace would be here in North Carolina, in a whole nother life that I live. And when I look back at the life and the person of who I was in Florida, she's unrecognizable. So that's what they call parallel realities. It's the reality that you're in now to the reality that you want to be in. So they literally sit like this. 100% possible for you to go from here to here. I just told you I did that. And you and I are no different. We're the same. Okay? So this is your truth. The truth is that what you desire, what you've thought of, what you're asking for is waiting for you. But the BS in your head is what's stopping you and keeping you stuck in life, right? And by not having everything that you desire is living inside of a lie, because that's what the mind does. The mind creates a story, i.e. a lie, to keep you in a safe, what the mind thinks is safe, right? The known. Even in our dysfunction, we can get used to it and we stay in our dysfunction because we're comfortable there. We know it. We know how to put out fires. We know how to handle the toxic person. It's comfortable. So we stay there. The mind thinks that it's protecting you. It thinks this is love. But like I said, it's BS. It's BSing you, right? So when you tell your truth, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. But you being outside of your comfort zone is growth, right? And your truth is this. Let me share a little. This is from The Game of Life. If you've never read this book, grab it. I just want to share one small piece of this with you today. Okay, every thought, every word is expressed, every thought, every word is impressed upon it and carried out in amazing detail. It is like a singer making a record on a sensitive disc of a phonojet plate. Every note and tone of the singer's voice is registered. If he coughs or hesitates, it is registered also. So let us break all the old bad records in the subconscious mind, the records of our lives which we do not wish to keep, and make new and beautiful ones. Speak these words out loud with power and conviction. I now smash and demolish by my spoken word every untrue record in my subconscious mind that shall return to the dust heap of their naive nothingness, for they came from my own vain imagings. I now make my perfect records through the Christ within, the records of health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. This is the square of life, the game completed. So that's just a tiny excerpt of The Game of Life. If you don't have this book, grab it. I highly recommend it. And so basically what I'm saying is your thoughts become things, right? Everything you think comes to fruition. So how do you get from this reality to this reality? This. Get a hold of your thoughts, get control of this, right? Stop believing the BS that your mind is telling you. Every successful person that has created something for their life did it through their thoughts, right? Louise Hay, Jen Sincero, Neil Donald Walsh, Napoleon Hill. all of these people changed their life and went from ordering water and free bread rolls at dinner to wealthy. You can do it too. Heal your body. Louise Hay healed her body. How? What? Prescription? No. Thoughts, affirmations. That's how she did it. You can do it too. So, our masters of overcoming the BS that you bought from generations and generations, that's just an example of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 authors who took their thoughts and created their life. So this leads us into this exercise that I want to do with you. This is a powerful exercise that I want to do with you. It's a 3-step process, and it's going to take 10 minutes for us to do. Okay, so get out a pen and paper. You can do pen to paper. Get that ready. And the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to type in the chat one thing. Pick one thing only that you desire to have in life. One thing. And put it in the chat. It could be anything. Peace. Beautiful, Alexis. Thank you. I desire peace in my life. Okay. Anybody else? Let's get this energy flowing. It could be anything. It could be money. It could be relationship. It could be health. Anything you want. Just pick one thing. That's what we're going to focus on in this exercise. Unconditional love from the right man for me. Beautiful. Okay. We've got 9 people on here. I got 2 answers. Come on. I'll participate too. Fill my groups up with 25 women and 5 private clients. This is my desire. So my groups of 25 women and 5 private clients. Okay. Let's get a few more. Unconditional love from the right man for me. Peace. Fill my groups up with 25 women and 5 private clients. What else? What do you want? What's your desire? This is how we're going to do the exercise. Just pick one thing. Just one thing. And type in the chat what it is that you desire. Let me know. And then I'll give you step 1. That was kind of step 1. It was a pre-one. All right. Peaceful living again in the US. Beautiful. All right. Peacefully living. No problem. Okay, here's step 1. You're going to write out your magical life in detail. The thing that you need to know about the universe is the universe loves details. So we're going to do this for 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to put a timer on and we're going to write for 3 minutes to support myself forever. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, Barb. Beautiful. We're going to do this for 3 minutes. And then I'm going to share with you the power in this. So let me get to the right thing here. On my phone. Timer. 3 minutes. Details. Details. To support myself forever. Okay, so let me use these as examples. So Barb, to support myself forever, that's very broad. The universe doesn't know what you mean by support. Do you mean emotional support? Do you mean financial support? Right? So this is what I mean by detail. You want to get super clear. So in other words, like you're talking to a little 5-year-old, right? You're answering this question to a 5-year-old. right? I thought I put that. So you would say to support myself, and then clarify support as if you were talking to a 5-year-old. Okay. Peacefully living again in the US. So for you, Rosalinda, is you want to, in detail, where do you live? Right? What state, what city, get super detailed. What does the house look like? Right? Who's with you? Super detailed of the outcome of what you've already got, right? So you don't need to get detailed of how you get there because you don't know how, just the end result. That's what you want to get detailed of, the end result. Okay. Unconditional love from the right man for me. So super detailed, unconditional love that feels like, now go into the emotions, right? From the right man for me. Describe the right man for you, right? Peace, that's very broad. You want to get super detailed. Peace, I want to feel peace. What does peace feel like to you? I want to feel peace in my relationships. I want to feel peace in, whatever. Get just super detailed in where you want to feel peace. Because so in other words, if you go to a sandwich shop, you don't walk into a sub shop and say, I want a sub, right? You go to a sub shop and you say, hey, I want the Italian sub on white bread, 6 inches, extra lettuce, no tomato. You're very detailed in what you're asking for. This is the same concept that I want you to use for this exercise. Okay, details like that, because saying peace or these answers, no judgment. I'm just clarifying for you. It's like walking into the sandwich shop and saying I want a sandwich. The clerk's gonna look at you like, hello. So that's why you want to get super detailed of what it is that you want, that you desire in life. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start the timer. 3 minutes. Start writing. Okay, time's up for the first part. So that's part one. You're gonna write out your magical life in detail. Okay, here's part two. Part two is the thing about gratitude is that when we express gratitude, we express gratitude for the things that we have already. One of the secrets and the keys to creating your dream life is for you to express gratitude for what you desire, but that hasn't shown up yet. Because remember, it's still a reality. What you want, even though you're here, this is still true. So be grateful, yes, for what you have here, but also be grateful for the other reality that you're jumping to, that you're going into. So thanking the universe for it as if you already have it. So everything that you wrote down for your desire of what you want for your magical life, you're going to thank. This next part is you thanking the universe for already having it. All right. So meaning you're going to use words, thank you for, not I'll be thankful when, thank you for, and then repeat what you wrote in the first part. Okay. 3 minutes. Okay, time's up. So another tool that you can use when you're thanking the universe, when you're in gratitude, when you're stating these, when you're writing these down, you want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Because there's Again, there's an energy behind every word you speak. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So you want to do that. Hold on, my computer all of a sudden now pops up the news. Like I want to see that. Okay, so here's the third part of this exercise. You want to put your magical life in front of you every single day. Do not waver on this. Having your magical life in the forefront of your mind is keeping that reality alive. You're breathing life into it, okay? Just like, when we think of the past and we rehash the past and we rehash all the hurts and the harmful things that happened to us, we're breathing life into that. And so in essence, we attract more of that. But when you shift out of that, when you heal the past and you focus on your desired life, your dream life, you're breathing life into that reality, right? Because it's an energy that you want to feed, nourish, honor, and love every single day. Just like you would do to your favorite plant or flower or your child or yourself, right? This is how you breathe life into it, by keeping it in front of you, keeping it in the forefront of your brain. Life is life. Life can get hectic. It happens. That's why this is important for you to keep this in the forefront. So close your eyes for a second and go into what you wrote just now in this exercise, using your third eye in between your eyebrows. And I want you to be there in that moment of what you created and feel the joy, feel the love and the abundance of it. And stay here for a minute, okay? The power of holding a thought for at least 17 seconds is when you hold that thought. When you hold that thought for 17 seconds, another thought of a similar vibration will join it, right? So if the thinking process is allowed to continue for 68 seconds, then that train of thought becomes your dominant vibration. Boomerang, remember the boomerang, and attracts to you persons, situations, or similar thought. So you want to feel this for 68 seconds, what you wrote. Feel that. Okay. So if you take one thing away from today, I've developed this 4-step process of transformational relationship techniques to attract and keep your true love and experience a healthy, fun relationship. This healing process teaches you self-love, forgiveness, truth, and trust. We didn't get to trust today. It's going to help you open your heart and heal from the toxic love so that you can call in your life partner. So you can have a loving, joyful, and peaceful relationship. When you apply this to your own life, you no longer attract emotionally unavailable or toxic men. When you apply the 4-step process to healing into your life, you can now attract that soulmate relationship. So you can waste a lot of time and effort on your own, or you can fast track your results with a Heal Your Heart session. And I'm going to pop this link in the chat for you. So in this session, we're going to talk about identifying the #1 reason that you're stuck in these cycles of attracting emotionally unavailable men, so that you can now attract someone who is emotionally available. And in this session, you'll receive an aha moment that you've been waiting for, of why does this keep happening to me, so that it'll stop, right? And finally, eliminate any confusion you have on how to step into a new and healthy love. In this session, we will create an empowerment personalized plan for you to stop the cycles and patterns of harmful, hurtful relationships and start attracting loving relationships with someone that honors you, respects you, adores you. Someone you can laugh with, have fun with, enjoy your life with. And someone who is as devoted to you as you are to him. The reason why I'm offering this session is I know what it's like to take in all of this information and still not know what to do with it. Who will hold you accountable for doing these things every single day? Because like I said, life gets in the way. Who will cheer you on when you succeed? Who will guide you, hold your hand when needed, or kick some serious ASS when you get stuck or fall back into the old habits? What we will cover in your session is the steps and a plan to get you to step into your woman energy, to shift your energy from the mother energy to the woman energy. You will release the old stories that are holding you back, and my secrets and tools to keep you moving forward. On this call, if I feel like you are a right fit for my program that I am offering specifically tailored for women just like you who struggle in relationships with emotionally unavailable men and wanting to experience a healthy relationship with someone who will love and adore you, here's an opportunity to hear about that. But if not, it's no big deal. You're still going to get massive value from this call because I am here to serve women and make a difference. If you take one thing away from this masterclass, I want you to know that you can heal your heart without it taking years. And the first step is for you to schedule a Heal Your Heart session with me to get you there. And on this call, you're going to get clarity of how and why you've attracted toxic relationships in the past so that you can now change that for your future and current relationships. So let me ask you something. Are you sick and tired of being a magnet for narcissism, toxic men? Type hell yes, I am sick of it in the chat if you are. And are you ready for an adoring, happy, fun, pleasant, and devoted partner? Yes. Hell yes. Yes. I know. It's draining. It's draining to go through life in these relationships. They're energy suckers, and it's draining to, and trying to figure out the why. That's draining too. And so that's what this is going to help you do. So let's do this. Close your eyes for a second and take some deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can use the pink, right? You can use the 4-4-4, 4 going in, hold it for 4, exhaling for 4. And now visualize that white glittery light shining down, coming in through the top of your head and moving slowly down your body, picking up any and all toxicity left inside of you, like Velcro picking up lint. And stop and imagine this. Waking up every morning next to the most supportive, comforting, and devoted partner ever. waking up to his soft lips kissing you all over your body. Now imagine you feel so safe and loved by this man every single day. And you know that you and he are forever. You feel safe, you feel secure, you feel loved, you trust. You are your most authentic self in this relationship, and he loves you for that. He wouldn't have you any other way. You are adored in this relationship. You are happy in this relationship. You smile and laugh all the time. You are in love with this life that you share with him. How do you feel about this image you've created? Do you feel safe, secure, peaceful? Do you feel loved, supported, happy? Sit with this feeling of love and devotion and feel the warmth and love throughout your body. And allow yourself to receive this because you deserve this. You are rewriting the old story into a new one of love, strength, devotion, respect, security, and freedom to express yourself. You are rewriting the old story into a new one of confidence and feeling adored and loved for just you being you. You don't even try. You're so relaxed in this relationship. You're just being you. Take in this love and support for a minute. And tell yourself, I deserve this. I deserve to feel loved, adored, and supported in life. I deserve to be happy in life. I deserve to have true love too. God wants me to have true love because I am love. Stay with this feeling of love. Imagine what your life would look like in this love. Now ask yourself, am I ready to heal my past? Am I ready to make myself a top priority so I can get my life and relationships in alignment with being 100% healthy and whole? So that this image becomes a reality for me? And ask yourself, is the past ready to be healed, loved, and supported so I can live a fulfilling life? Feel as if this is your reality now. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in all of that love and that image you created in your head. Exhale. Take another deep breath in, breathing in all of that security and safety and that relationship. Exhale. And one more. Take a deep cleansing breath in. Release it out. You can start to wiggle your toes, your feet, your body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And let me know how that felt. Let me know in the chat how that felt. How did that feel? Did an image come into your head? Did you feel safe? Did you create security? Did you receive it? Sometimes that's a challenge, to receive the love. Did you see that reality for yourself? There's a famous quote by, I think it's by Buddha. I should have it. I'm pretty sure it's by Buddha, but it goes, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Meaning we all go through pain in life. That's just the way it is. But suffering, by staying in it, is optional. You don't have to suffer anymore. You can stop the suffering now on a Heal Your Heart session. You don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to cry yourself to sleep every night like I did. You don't have to be ashamed of the past or embarrassed or blame yourself for what happened in the past. Even if your kids went through some pretty horrific stuff like mine did. Anything that happened in the past does not define you, and it doesn't define your future. You can create your dream life. You can shift out of the mother energy into the woman energy so that you attract man energy. That relationship that you created in that image, in that meditation we just did, is a reality for you. It 100% is a reality for you. In fact, you can have better, more things that you can't even think of right now. Like I said, when I was in Florida and I was crying myself to sleep every night, I never dreamed in a million years that I would have this life that I have now, that I would have this relationship that I have now, that I would live in this house and vacation all the time and the freedom that I have. None of this I thought of. I just knew that I didn't want to be in that anymore, and that I wanted to experience, I didn't even know what a healthy relationship was, honestly, but I wanted to experience a good relationship. That's just the best way that I could describe it, a good relationship. I didn't know what healthy was because I'd never had healthy. When you've never experienced something before, how do you know how to describe it? Never thought in a million years that I'd travel the way I do, that I would laugh every day, that I would wake up to soft lips kissing my body all over. Never thought any of this was reality for me until the day that I stopped the suffering, and piece by piece, I put it back together. I put myself back together, step by step. I did that for myself, and you can do that too. And what's waiting for you on the other side of toxic relationships is far beyond what your mind can create. What we did tonight was a glimpse a glimpse of what's waiting for you. There's so much more. You just have to decide that, yes, I can have this, and be ready to receive it. That's it. That's all you have to do. So before we end the call, this masterclass, does anybody have any questions? You can raise your hand or type it in the chat. If you only want me to receive it, you can click where it says to everyone and just send it to me. This is your time. This is your time for questions or coaching, any clarification that you desire. This is your time.
Denise?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't find where to raise my hand.
Oh, no worries. That's fine.
Okay, great. So, my issue is that I have a totally narcissistic boss, and I make a heap load of money, but obviously it's just a very toxic environment for me. And I've just decided that the money is not worth it anymore. So I'm trying to remove myself from this situation, and I'm a little bit worried about what the repercussions could be.
Repercussions, you mean financially?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have a plan? Like when so are you saying you're leaving are you leaving the job?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a plan?
I mean, I'm going to be okay. I just won't be accustomed to the lifestyle that I'm used to living, like free trips and all sorts of things. So, and I'm just a little bit worried because that she doesn't do anything vengeful, because she's just that kind of person.
Okay. Okay. So is that your main concern?
Yeah.
She might seek revenge?
Yes.
Okay. I'm writing this down. Okay. So there is a way for you to, so you're not going to get a job after this. Like you're not going to go from one job and then seek out another one, right?
No, I just need a break right now.
Okay. So are you saying eventually you will, or just not right now?
Just not right now.
Okay. Because here's the thing, you know, these toxic relationships, they, like you're expressing, they happen at work too. And so let me ask you, do you have any health issues
Constant stress. Yeah. So I have all sorts of, they're minor issues, but it's because the final straw was when, what made me realize this is I got burned, and I looked up burns. You know, you were talking about Louise Hay, and it said burning anger and not being able to express what you want to say. And I thought, okay, I need to get out of this situation now.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's just what popped up for me for you, was because when you spend a lot of time obviously at the office, right?
Right.
You're there at least 8 hours a day, probably even more. And so even before you go into the building, there's a level of stress that comes over you, right?
Yes.
Because you're already planning out the day. You already know what to expect. You already know how blah, 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 the reactions and all of that. So the stress starts even before you go in there. And then this is your body responding to your thoughts, right? So the reason why I asked you, are you going to get another job, is because just like with toxic relationships, like spousal relationships, if you don't heal from that relationship, say you want a break of dating, and then you're gonna seek a relationship later on. If you don't do that middle piece, if you don't heal that, then when you go out into dating, you're gonna attract a different version, right? The same version as your ex. Same thing with bosses. If ultimately the truth is, Alexis, that you've attracted this, boss, right? Because everything comes into our life for us for a reason.
Well, okay, so I've been working there now for 30 years.
Wow.
And so the mindset that got me there, where I used to like have this pattern of like dating like total, and like yourself, I was married to a total, actually, yes, sociopath, like just anyway, I did a lot of work for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say I'm like blissfully happy, married, totally great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've known for a while that my boss is like narcissistic, but I just kept staying because the money was just so amazing and so were the perks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I will attract that situation again because now I so know what to look for. I can smell them a mile away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Beautiful. Awesome. 30, has your boss been there for 30 years as well?
Yeah. Yeah. We know each other since we were in grade school. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
See, and now I would never ever like even be friends with someone like that because I
Mm-hmm.
would know right away. I would see the signs and I would know this is not someone I want to be with.
Right. Right. Stay away. Okay. So what is your question?
So
What do you want to know?
I guess maybe I just need reassurance that it's okay to leave even though you're making money that you'll never make like that ever again in your life.
So ask yourself this, what is the price of my health? What is the price of
Yeah.
my life?
Right. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's brilliant. Thanks so much, Denise. Okay.
I don't care how much you make. It's not worth your life or your health, right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. There's your answer.
Wow, that really helped me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm glad it helped. I got chills down my legs, Alexis. So we hit something there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad it helps. Anybody else have a question or want some coaching? Need help? If you don't know how to raise your hand, you can do like Alexis and just unmute yourself. I'm more than happy to give you this time. All right. Well, I hope this helped you. Use these tools that were given to you here today. Take advantage of the Heal Your Heart session. The link is in the chat. It's an application. I will be in touch with you when you get that app. You're welcome, Alexis. When I receive the application, I will be in touch with you. This replay will go out to your email. Obviously, you registered because you're here or you're on my email list, and that's how you got the information. And reach out to me if you need anything. This was a huge pleasure serving you tonight on this masterclass. And until we meet again, have a great night, everybody.